Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today I read an interesting article on Forbes.com written by Jim Osman titled, "Mortgage Delinquencies Are Exploding. What Smart Investors See Coming." This was a very interesting article. According to the author, the national delinquency rate is only 3.2% on paper, but things are different behind the scenes. VantageScore and Investopedia both say that what lenders are currently witnessing is true. Early delinquencies are rising faster than any other type of consumer credit. The stress is real. It's coming on early, and it's going faster than most investors think. The author went on to say, the U.S. consumer is no longer just stretched, they're snapping. My friends, I hate to hear about this, but I can believe this is true. There are a lot of everyday Americans who have not seen their wages keep pace with the rising cost of just about everything in life. A lot of Americans are paying more for food at the grocery store. They are paying more for car insurance. They are paying more to get their vehicle serviced. If they're homeowners, they're likely paying more for home insurance, and they're likely paying more for property taxes. Many thought they were getting a fixed rate mortgage payment. They thought that payment would never change because no one ever educated them about how an escrow works for your mortgage. If your property taxes go up, well, that's going to impact your mortgage payment. If your homeowner's insurance goes up, that's going to impact your mortgage payment. Someone that may have had a $2,000 mortgage payment may now have a $2,300 or $2,400 mortgage payment. A lot of Americans have seen the value of their homes increase on paper, and their county has likely adjusted the property tax bill. Some folks don't know that their escrow could develop a deficit, and they'll have to rectify that deficit by making larger payments for a period of time. Even after they correct the deficit, the payment is still going to be larger. It'll come down a little bit, but a lot of Americans are not prepared for this. They don't know how this works. I can see how this would catch some people off guard. Then we have some folks who went out and purchased new, expensive, high-tech vehicles. The warranty period may have expired recently, and now they're learning firsthand how expensive it is to maintain one of these types of vehicles. I could see some Americans having to put an expensive repair bill on the credit card, and interest rates are sky high right now. Some people stand no chance of being able to pay off that credit card balance at the end of the billing cycle. The debt just piles up. Then we have folks who gravitated towards these buy now, pay later loans. And we have student loan payments that have resumed for countless Americans. A lot of Americans have been caught in the perfect storm. Getting back to the article, the author said, for all the talk about a soft landing, this is a hard truth. We're witnessing the early stages of a credit deterioration cycle that markets are failing to price in. It's showing up first in subprime auto, now in mortgages, and next it may bleed into broader consumer credit and regional banks. My friends, during the GFC, a lot of regional banks got crushed. I bought some of their bank stocks back then. Many rebounded eventually, but they were hurt hard during the GFC. The author goes on to say, the ripple effects of a spike in mortgage delinquencies could be significant for equities, especially as we look towards 2026. Those chasing high beta names and ignoring balance sheet quality might be walking into the next drawdown. My friends, I could see this happening. There are a lot of people who have been very greedy lately. Many have a lot of margin. Some could be faced with a rude awakening in the event we ever see a significant pullback in equities. I really hate to hear about potential problems in the housing market that may be brewing. I lived through the GFC. I saw how that took a toll on a lot of families. A lot of families were torn apart. Many children were forced to leave their school. They were forced to leave all of their friends. Their parents had to relocate somewhere less expensive. A lot of people saw their lives change and change quickly. It was not pretty. I'm sure some people may have PTSD after having lived through that era, much like people who lived through the Great Depression. My grandmother lived through the Great Depression, and she never forgot it. She once told me a story about finding a coin on the sidewalk walking home from school, and her family was able to buy potatoes and some other groceries, and she was able to help feed the family for several days with that coin that she found walking home from school. She told me how tough it was. She told me about coming home from school one day and seeing all of her family's belongings out on the sidewalk because they had been evicted. She told me how often they had to move as her parents tried to find work. That really scarred her for the rest of her life. And she was very frugal for the rest of her life, and she never forgot those days. I'm sure some folks who lived through the GFC and were impacted probably have similar scars. Let's hope we don't live through another difficult financial era that could impact a lot of lives. I hate to think about the human cost. The author of this article goes on to say, this is not alarmism, it is pattern recognition. We have seen this sequence before, in 2007, in 2015, and again in early 2020. Each time, there was a belief that the economy was stable and the consumer was resilient. And each time, the real deterioration began not at the edges, but in the middle. The author went on to say, who gets hurt first? Let's get specific. A surge in mortgage delinquencies does not stay isolated. It bleeds into sectors that are structurally exposed to the consumer credit stress. The following areas are especially vulnerable: regional banks, mortgage REITs, and subprime and near-prime lenders. My friends, this sounds eerily similar to what was happening before the 2008 crisis. Back then, a lot of people thought the economy was resilient and the consumer was just fine. People thought some of what was happening behind the scenes was just isolated. And we all know how that turned out. Am I predicting another GFC? No, I'm not. I'm just sharing with you what I have learned from this article today, and some of the information is troubling to me. Only time will tell what actually transpires. I don't have a crystal ball, no one does. Let's hope the American economy will keep chugging along. I hate to think about financial trouble that could be brewing or financial trouble that could potentially accelerate. Far too many everyday Americans would be impacted, and I don't want to see that happen. What do you think about all this? Do you know people right now who are stretched financially? Do you know people who have snapped because they can't keep it all together? Maybe they got over leveraged and the house of cards blew over. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.